There are tons of gurus out there right now saying, have a faceless business. It'll be easier. But you know what? It's not. You can have one, you can make money. However, it's not what I recommend. I actually had two students just ask me the other day. One of them is a life coach, one of them is a therapist. I told them, you know what? We can have you create a faceless business. However, it's not easier, it's not faster because humans build trust, right? Like the eyeballs, the smiles. I'm actually talking on camera. You can tell I'm not AI, I'm not fake, I'm making mistakes. And that is what you take away when you have a faceless business. You also take away like the gestures and all that kind of stuff that actually builds trust in humans. So yes, you can do it. And I did tell my students they can, but it is going to be this crazy, crazy, crazy uphill battle. So if you still want to do it, I got some tips for you on how to create a faceless business. Tip number one, if you want to create a faceless business, you could do tutorials. Tutorials are like your new face, and that means step-by-step guides. So you can draw something, you can use a whiteboard, but the key here is to have these tutorials and the step-by-step because that's what's going to give people an edge on how to learn and how to get shit done. And they can probably trust you because you're consistently showing up with these tutorials and step-by-step. Tip number two, when you're building a faceless business, one of the things that you can do is study the people that have done this well. And I love Justin Welsh. I'm a huge, huge fan. So he's somebody that I look at, and he's done a lot of his faceless business with literally not showing his face. He does show it in his bio on Instagram and other places, but he's not consistently coming on camera and doing any of that stuff. He's a writer. So that's how he's showing up. Dan Coe is another one who is writing all the time. When you look at his Instagram or anything like that, you see a lot of animation and that type of thing. So study people that have done it before you, see how they did it. Tip number three on a faceless business, and really at that point, if you're not going to have your face, you're going to need your words. So a written business is really good. Yes, blogs are still in, but even better, create a LinkedIn newsletter. Go on Substack and write there. Medium is still a thing, you can write there as well. So having more longer form written content that people can see over and over again, that starts building trust as well. And then you can start showing up in that format instead of the face and video format. Tip number four on how to do a faceless business is that you can actually show up in the written content, however you want, even audio would be good. But what you need is not just information. You at this point need a strong opinion. So people know that you stand for something and they see that same thing that you stand for over and over again. A strong opinion, maybe a controversial opinion or opinion that's maybe new on the market. An opinion, for example, right now would be how to have a business that doesn't look like AI. That could be something that you could be doing. Tip number five. When you build a faceless business, people are not going to remember your face because your face isn't on there. So what can they remember instead? And one of the things they can remember is frameworks. I love my frameworks. I even do them with a face business because I have a face business, but frameworks are really cool because people can remember them. So frameworks could be like acronyms, like the PAL framework or the Get Your Clients Fast blueprint, the advertising to make money engine, like some kind of framework that you could use. And then people can remember you and be like, oh yeah, it's that XYZ framework. So a framework really replaces your face in remembering on what this person is all about in this business. Tip number six. With a faceless business, you got to be even more constant and consistent than somebody like me who has a face business. Consistency is key in all businesses, to be honest, but this one especially. If you're going to be faceless, you better be showing up on a regular basis. And you're going to be showing up more probably than someone like me because it is harder to remember somebody when you can't see the face. So I would say you need to be posting daily, maybe multiple times a day. So that is something you need to actually figure out. How often can you show up? And you better be consistent and keep showing up. Tip number 7. If you don't want to have your face on camera, I get it. A faceless business could also be audio. Podcast is still a thing. You could also do videos that show something else on the screen, but your voice is there and people can get used to your voice. Psychology says that people will remember faces more, gestures, and that kind of thing with trust, but the voice can also help. Audio is also important for the brain to remember you. So just your voice over and over and over again. If you have a really horrible voice, this might not work for you. So really be honest about yourself. How is your voice? Is your voice easy to listen to? And which that also means for you is that instead of spending a lot of money on expensive camera equipment, you don't need that, but you do need to have a microphone that makes you sound amazing. No background noise, nothing. You really want to make sure your audio shines. And then that's what people are going to remember instead of your face. And those are my tips for the faceless business. So what do you think? You still going to do it? Let me know. Drop me a note. Tell me if you are still going to do a faceless business or not and why, because I'd like to know. I really recommend not doing a faceless business, especially if you are an expert or knowledge business, if you sell courses, memberships, anything where you're showing up, people need to get used to you. I'm strange, I'm different, so people might not like me. So for me, it's really important to have my face out there. And if you do like me because of my 25 years experience, being a chief marketing officer, having worked at giant companies at Transamerica and Ogilvy, you're gonna buy my shit, right? And so that's really important that you get to know me first. You hear that I cuss, you see my age, you see my experience, and you see how I work. And then if you do my courses, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I already know this chick. This is gonna be good stuff. I know I can trust her because I've been trusting her all along in the free stuff that she always does on camera and on Instagram and LinkedIn and wherever else she's at, and like YouTube. Some people have real reasons not to be on camera. For example, there are some people that work at a business and work at a company, they work in corporate 9 to 5, and they just really don't want their coworkers to know it's them. But then, well, they know your voice, right? But it is something that you could do. And there are occasionally reasons why people maybe don't want to be on camera, but in general, like even if you don't look so good, even if you're aging, even if you are, I don't know, you just don't like yourself on camera, still show up. It doesn't matter. You are going to be more sensitive than other people. It's the content that you provide. It's how you help people. It's the proof point that you provide that makes people trust you and like you. So don't be shy. Start a faceless business just because you're shy or because you're scared to be on camera. Just do it. And I can always help you, right? That's what I do with the CMO Growth Guide. I help people start their businesses and then I help them market their business so they can get more clients. So I'm here to help. If you need more information or if you just want to sign up to my newsletter, just go to cmogrowthguide.com/newsletter and you'll get tons of tips for free. And if you need help from me personally, I can do consulting and I have courses. Just check out my website at CMO Growth Guide. Thanks so much for being here. Drop the line. I want to know, are you going faceless or are you not?